To see the same as different, to have dreams become equitable visions that challenge the status quo, you must first be able to see yourself. Curiosity is the foundation of all learning, like building a house brick by brick or question by question, with imagination being the interior design that gives us granite countertops and heated floors. This place where thoughts become questions and questions become possibilities and people problems are the subject. Roaming curiosity, our ability to interrogate through continuous questions, leads us to radical imagination. Because innovation doesn't start with what we know, but with who we've been, who we are, and who we can become. Walk with me on my journey of roaming curiosity and radical imagination. Growing up, I was a smart troublemaker. Always quick to finish school assignments, and then the shenanigans would commence. Particularly in 5th grade, I was just disruptive because I was bored, in need of a challenge. I questioned everything adults said to me because I needed them to explain to me why, as I began my quest to know all things and make my great debates about fairness. The famous adult response of, "Because I said so," was enough to shut me up, but it never quieted the continuous questions that came. This reflection helped me realize that I had been a courageously curious, loudmouth troublemaker, people advocating freedom fighter well before I fully understood injustice and inequity. Growing up, I had the opportunity to attend a math summer camp as a middle schooler. I remember being excited about going to just a math camp. I walked in on day one, and there was no one else that looked like me, spoke like me, or who had come from my community. See, I'm a Chicago Southsider. And my first language is African American Vernacular English. And when I told folks the farthest north I had gone out of the South Side was maybe Roosevelt Avenue, they looked at me strangely, having already struggled to understand my speech and being generally confused on if I was in the right place. Within an instant, I could feel a sense of isolation. And this voice crept in, telling me, "Cynthia, you don't belong here." This made me question my value. And I started to think things like, maybe you're not as good as you think you are at math. I never returned to that camp. This story repeats throughout my educational and professional pursuits. This reflection helped me realize that I had also been a fearful, negative self-talking quitter, possibly fighting to fit and be seen in a STEM world where I was destined to be invisible. Both reflections and realities were equally true. I had been courageous and curious and fearful and silent. Today, my curiosity still roams and my imagination is radical, believing that Black girls can remove our fear and raise our voice. Hi, everyone. I am a Black woman research chemist. I have attended top STEM universities while obtaining multiple STEM degrees and work for companies with colleagues working around the world. I am a part of the 2%. Black women make up 6.5% of the United States population, but just 2%, according to the National Science Foundation, of the STEM workforce, with just 2.9% of Black women receiving STEM undergraduate degrees. Furthermore, of the 2%, Black women represent, on average, a 21% exit from the STEM workforce annually. I spent my career in manufacturing research roles, and in November of 2020, I sat down and decided to quit. This had me leaving the 2% and joining the 21. You may ask what empowered me to make the shift. Roaming curiosity placed me on a solid foundation of self. I am a champion of equity. I am a research chemist. And I am an advocate for Black girls because I remember all too well the instances of my silence in the face of inequity. And now I can speak up for myself and others. The foundation that my roaming curiosity laid is an organization founded to give Black girls their own space to develop roaming curiosity through questions to themselves and others about themselves, their communities, and their shared and not shared realities. Black girls can see and shape their own problems and develop the STEM tools to be problem solvers. In this space, they can radically imagine for themselves who they currently are, who and what they can become, and finally, the problems they want to solve in the world. A girl shared with me, and I quote, "Before joining this organization, I was insecure in myself, surrounded by people who weren't like me. Finally, I can meet people who relate to my issues and see I'm not alone." We are catalyzing confidence through connection, creating STEM content that makes connections to real life, with the understanding that we can explore both culture and career all at once. Problem-solving skills are built through hands-on, learn-by-doing workshops catered to a career pathway, important for our regional and national development and competitiveness, such as aviation and aerospace, cybersecurity, civil engineering, and construction. Our workshops make connections to real life, and for this reason, civil engineering is one of our top-rated workshops because girls can recall how the floods in St. Louis impacted them as they talk about the ankle-length water that they had to assist with pumping out of their basements. They make structural designs that work with the ability to articulate the questions and thoughts made throughout their engineering design processes. They come up with redesigns that are even more effective, competing for the top prize of ice cream. Girls like Keisha, who started with us in 7th grade and had a love for sports and an interest in sports medicine, who as a 9th grader took the opportunity to do public health research, and now in less than 1 month will stand before an audience of her peers as an expert researcher. Having conducted research alongside medical doctors and public health professionals at a national conference in Atlanta. Now radically imagining what her own nonprofit might offer to other 15-year-old girls like herself. Girls like Angel. Angel grew up in the Dutchtown neighborhood, and as a middle schooler, her roaming curiosity had her anxiously awaiting the decision or if she would attend the Bioscience and Medicine Magnet High School. As a 12th grader, she took the opportunity to do biomedical research, and now she radically imagines what a career as a cardiothoracic surgeon would look like. Through our community, she met with and was mentored by a Black woman, cardiothoracic surgical resident, training right here in St. Louis. Because we understand that combating inequity is as much about access as it is confidence. By the way, there are only 8 Black women cardiothoracic surgeons in the country. These are girls whose roaming curiosity keeps them asking beautifully relevant questions about who they are and who they can become. They are setting the foundation of self, brick by brick or question by question. Will they create fashion designs like the African designer Diera Bozo, who as a mathematician left her job on Wall Street to use geometry to come up with algorithms to create whimsical patterns unique to every print? When our girls learned about her and fashion technology, they asked questions like, wait, so you can use math to design clothes? Their eyes light up and their spirits for a moment are amazed as I watch them traverse from roaming curiosity to radical imagination, blurting out the next question and within seconds listing off all the things they would and could create. Because in this space, they are seen. And more importantly, they get to become. My 5th grade teacher recently helped me realize that my roaming curiosity and radical imagination had also been seen. It was through a simple Facebook message that said, "Do you think I could ever forget you? The way you stood up for others when you thought that they had been done wrong. The way you would cover your smile before you laughed really hard. The way you would ask for help when you struggled with a math problem instead of giving up. I could never forget you." My initial response was, wow. Roaming curiosity and radical imagination has always been a part of who I am. My roaming curiosity led me first to earn the title of research chemist, and second, to combat the 2% statistic in the underrepresentation of Black women and girls in STEM. My radical imagination manifested in a beautiful community of girls whose smiles and voices give hope for a future STEM workforce that is both equitable and representative. It was my response to the inequity I face, my challenge to the status quo. And now these girls will have an internal voice that says, I too do STEM. Where will your roaming curiosity lead you? Mae Jemison, the first Black woman astronaut in space, once said, and I'm paraphrasing, "Creativity, imagination, curiosity is your place in the world. It's your life." Well, if curiosity and imagination is your life, make it wrong and make it radical, but most importantly, make it you. Thank you.